Hey Velo fans, I got another crash here. Should be a pretty quick one. We are at a Cat 4-5 crit here in Austin at the driveway. Real popular weekly crit on a racetrack, so it's actually a pretty good course. I've been on it many times. Here, watch this crash. Watch somebody go down. Boom, he goes down, takes out one other rider with him. And we can see pretty clearly how that happened. We can't necessarily see how the main guy going down reacts and what mistakes he may have made. We can make an assumption or a few assumptions, but there's one thing we can all learn right here, and that is standing up. Standing up can cause your wheel, can cause your whole bike to lurch backwards. It effectively stops as your body moves forward because you change your cadence. So watch this guy right here, and he will stand up and his bike will kick back and chop the wheel of the rider that went down. Okay, so that's the obvious thing happening. So he stands up, that causes a kink in his cadence, and his bike goes back. Many of you have probably experienced this. You've been in a group ride or in a race, and someone stands up on a roller, a short hill or something, and you're in the wheel, and they stand up and their wheel just comes back into you or it gets close, freaks you out. Hopefully you haven't gone down. And then we see this guy go down. He's kind of high side sort of into this dude. Couldn't get a foot down or whatever. And it looks like he's taking that guy out. That guy is at least pulling a foot out. Might be getting around it. We're not sure. But the most important thing to learn here is when you stand up like this guy here, we'll watch him again at full speed. He stands up, lurches back, boom, and that guy goes down. When you stand up, you need to keep your cadence the same as when you're sitting down. It's that cadence change that causes your bike to lurch back, because most of us under normal conditions will run a lower cadence when we stand up. So we tend to pause or gear up, go into a bigger gear and then put that, go into a lower cadence and then just start stomping on the pedals or whatever. But generally we tend to lurch back if we're not thinking about it. So you need to consciously, and you can practice this next time you're out riding, especially on a hill or on a roller while you're at speed. And as you stand up, keep your cadence constant and put pressure into the pedals all the way through the stroke. As you stand up, you tend to kind of come off weak on your stroke because you're putting your power into standing your body up. But you need to stand your body up and continue to put power into the pedal, or your bike's gonna kick back like that. Practice that. It is harder. It takes a little bit of energy. You got to put out a little bit of energy for a couple of strokes to get it sorted out. And then when you get out of the saddle, you smoothly settle into the cadence and gearing that you're gonna have out of your saddle. What happened here in this crash is a little bit amplified by something that's also happening. We can see this is a crit, and it's starting to spread out across the road, meaning the group is compressing. So they're coming together, and if you watch this here, you can see the wheels were right on right here starting to come into the wheels. And you can see like this wheel here is coming back, this wheel is coming back. So that means the group is compressing. So what that does is it's amplifying this guy's mistake. He made the mistake of lurching his bike back, but the group is also compressing. So not only is the guy that goes down on his wheel, he's coming closer into him in real time as he stands up. And like I said, that the first rider down, we can't see what he's doing, how he took care of his front wheel or at all. And really, at the end of the day, it'll always be said you're responsible for where your front wheel is and not. And I wouldn't fault this guy for yelling at that dude after the race, or one of his teammates being like, "Hey man, you stood up. That was a mistake. Call it a dick move." The guy probably just doesn't know. This is a 4-5, so he could be fairly inexperienced. You never know. But watch the wheels in front of you and learn from this. When you stand up, you need to do it smoothly and not kick your bike back. Practice it when you're riding by yourself or off the back of the group, and learn to notice it in the group. When you're coming into a hill, and I'm looking for a crash like this, so if you find one, link it to me. I'm looking for a crash on YouTube that is a group compressing into a hill and causing a crash, which is very common. This is only a slight compression, but the group does compress into a hill. So watch that. When you stand up, try not to kick your bike back and practice that. So ride on.